Welcome to TA Outdoors, and this is the one stick challenge. So good YouTube friends, what I've got to do in this video is I have to try and boil some water with just one stick. This is my stick. Yes, it's quite a long one. It's actually about, I don't know, 6.5 foot. But the idea is, people, I have to not only create my fire from this stick, but I also have to create something to hang my pot from that I'm going to boil water in. I have with me a knife, fire steel and a small saw. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is taking a look at my stick. I can already see that there's a nice shoulder joint here that I can hang my pot from. This end down here is the thick end. I'm going to use this end for the fuel. Okay, just so you know guys, when I cut this I want you to remember this piece and what it looks like. So I'm actually going to cut this bit off, but I still want to use it for the fire later. I'm going to cut halfway up. Here's my pot hanging notch. I'm just going to saw a little. This is my folding saw. Saw probably about there, that'll do. There we go, 2 bits. Now I'm going to cut this longer bit in half. There's my fuel end. It's going to be my crane arm. There we go. So I've got 4 sticks guys. That one stick has been split down into 4. This is my pot hanger arm. Now I need to carve a notch in the opposite side of it about here. There is easier ways of doing this notch. It's just a bail notch really. Okay, there's my notch. Very simple little notch there that I've made in a stick. And that's at the opposite end of the pot hanger there. So for the crane arm I've just sawn off these little offcuts here. I need to make a point on both ends, but one needs to be a stake point. One needs to be basically just a flat one to hang the pot hanger. Okay, first off, just going to make a standard stake at this end. By the way, the shavings that are coming off this, I'm collecting on the floor. Just so you guys can see I'm not cheating. They're down here, and I'm going to use those as the wood, because that's part of the stick. So I've got to use those as part of the fuel, the fire. Don't waste anything, people. There we go. Stake at that end. This end now needs just a flat end. That, hopefully you guys can see that. Let's focus for you. That's what I'm looking for. It's what I'm talking about. Little wedge like that there. And the way this works is that's going to stake in the ground, bush, with that sound effect as well. Pot hanger is going to sit like that. And hopefully that will dangle the pot. Now remember, I've got those 2 sticks. I've got this leftover tip bit of the stick, the very tip, which I will use for fuel, and then I've got my fuel section here. Now, when I was whittling that stick, I made some shavings down here. If you guys can see that, I'm going to collect these up into a ball because they're still part of my one stick fire challenge. Fairly time consuming this bit, but well worth it in the end. Okay guys, that's what I managed to pick up from the floor. There's still some on the floor, but with you guys as my witness, I'm going to just store these in the cargo pouch of my trousers. Crush them down a bit first so they don't go everywhere. But yeah, you're the witness guys. That is going in my trousers. Okay guys, this is where I'm going to have my fire, but it's peak summer and I don't want to burn the forest floor, so I'm just going to get rid of this moss, which is very dry. That's what I'm going to try and boil in a survival situation. I'd be happy with some water like that. So you've got to imagine this is a survival situation. It's funny, whenever you say that word, whenever people say that word, survival situation, people get really touchy about it. But I'm not in a survival situation here, but I'm imagining myself as in a survival situation here. Sometimes people get really touchy saying, oh, you've got a saw and a knife in a survival situation. You might have a saw and a knife and be in a survival situation. You don't have to necessarily have no tools to be in a survival situation. You might have stuff on you. That's the water I've got. That's the amount I've got there. And that's going to hang above the fire. Hopefully I'll have enough fire to be able to boil this water. The challenge is a success if I boil the water. So for this part, I don't need my firewood. I don't need the end stick. I literally need the stake. Immediately I can see that that's obviously too long. I need it up here. In fact, I'll need it very high up, and that's going to hang about there. So I have to shorten the stick. Problem number 1, here we go. So it's really, really small now. The pot hanger still did the same notch. Here's my stick. Kept it nice and vertical. Just doing the old swing test before I start my fire, if I can start my fire. That'd be a nice height to get it going, but it might burn this stick, and then I can just adjust it by leaning it forward. But I'll probably light the fire down there first. This is the old bail notch one, and I'm just going to split this. There we go. Okay, so that was everything from the old pot hanger stick. Gonna put that over near the fire. Next up is the big bit of firewood that I was on about, and the other bit that's left of it, which is going to be used as a baton. Trying to keep it nice and straight, but it's not, it's pretty twisty grain this. There we go. Look how twisted that grain is. You're a wizard, Harry. Trying to go right down the pith. With this last bit, if you remember that, I'm just going to snap that and leave it whole. So this is, doesn't look like a lot now, but this is basically my firewood that I've got to boil the water with. There. Big thick one I had there. That's going to act as the bottom of the fire lay. I'm not going to do loads because I've got loads of stuff in my pocket. Because I've got the rest of the curls here that we did earlier, which you guys hopefully remembered. Here we go. It's at quite a tentative phase at the moment. I want to start hanging the water. This is it. One stick fire challenge. I have seen a few one stick fire challenge videos before, and I noticed that in all of them they all get a fire going with one stick, which isn't, let's face it, isn't really that hard. But none of them have tried getting a fire going and boiling water, which at the end of the day is kind of what you want. So thought I'd give it a go. Thanks to everyone who suggested this video to me. Be grateful if you could pop something in the comments section for another challenge. I'm enjoying it. Not an expert, people. Not an expert. Come on, baby. The previous challenge I did was a one-hand fire challenge, where I was only allowed to use one hand for everything, and that was tricky enough. Full respect for those people out there with a disability, because it was not easy. Go and check that out on my channel. I'll pop it in the video description. We seem to be doing quite well here. Let's see if we can get the water boiling. We're so close to fire. The fire's going down to coals. We're trying to keep it alive just so it's boiling. Hopefully you guys can see, I can hear it almost boiling, but it's going down. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Yeah, buddy. That, my people, my friends, my YouTube friends, is boiling. That's a successful challenge. One stick fire boiling challenge complete. Leftover sticks, obviously I've got the hanger, I'm not going to use that, I've got the steak, but that was what I had left over from that stick. So not much really to boil water, not much at all. And in fact, if I'd have used this, I'd have probably been able to boil a full one of these just. Wouldn't even know I was there. Well, that was fun. Thanks very much for watching, guys, really appreciate it. Please pop some more survival suggestions or challenge suggestions in the comment section below, and check out the other challenge videos. Really appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit the subscribe button. Tell all your buddies. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon in another episode of TA Outdoors.